agenda, may we please have roll call?
Sure. Counselor Andrews,
Present.
Counselor Catalani,
Here.
Counselor Fliegel,
Here.
Counselor Coroli. Here. Counselor Rydell,
Here.
Counselor Touche, Counselor Shear,
Here.
Mayor Miller,
Here.
and we have a quorum.
Okay. Just a reminder for everyone to please silence your all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. And reminder of council members, if you haven't already, please turn on your microphones. No special visitors scheduled, which takes us to public comment period number 1. Please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anybody? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Mary Smith, and I'm at 137A North Railroad Street here in Palmyra. I just have a question with Division Street. I have photos here of all the potholes and everything that are in there. And last year, they came around and they said they were gonna pave it. And then they dug it and widened the road. And now we have like an 1.5 inch, 2 inch up into our parking lot because they said they were gonna pave it and they dug for that. So, and we have potholes that are like this deep and it's just really not safe for our cars. You're gonna do something with the axle, or I don't know much about cars, but I know I don't want mine damaged. And they've been telling us now for over a year that they're paving this Division Street, and I want to know when they're going to pave it.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have the trained staff on staff right now to pave it. I'm assuming you're talking about the portion on the west side of North Railroad?
Tear sheet.
Okay, but yeah, it is on our list. We'll try to keep it in decent shape for you, better than it is now.
Okay, so now you put macadam down, or pieces or chunks, like this big,
Millings, yes.
of that on there, so we're supposed to drive over that? That's not great for our tires, is it?
I don't think they shouldn't leave big chunks behind.
Oh,
Not-
there are big chunks. I should have brought you one.
Yeah.
Or two. I could have brought you a couple.
Are they breaking up?
Do you walk down that aisle, go down that aisle at all?
I haven't walked down that alley for a while.
Maybe you
no, but
should.
Yeah. We'll take a look at it.
I'm gonna check on that.
Yeah.
Because it's, I've called, I've asked, and I thought maybe the next best thing was to come and say, look, what are you gonna do? It's not safe.
Can we check into that and also the potholes?
Yep.
I know we're short-staffed. Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Thank you.
Helen Nixdorf, corner of South Lingle and West Cherry. My question is, when you redid Cherry Street, why did you stop at Lingle Avenue? We have probably, well, at least 5 families that live on the other side of Lingle, plus all of those people on South Lingle on either side that pay taxes to Palmyra, and we'd like to know when you're gonna finish the road.
Well, I can tell you it wasn't originally paved because we had a grant money for Cherry Street,
Okay.
for between Lingle and all the way at the end, Earl Drive. The west portion was not it wasn't eligible to be part of that grant
Why?
because it wasn't part of the, we put Cherry Street on the Federal Highway Aid Program as like a detour for Main Street. So that made it eligible for federal highway dollars. So we got federal money through the state to completely redo Cherry Street. But the portion that's not part of that was not eligible for that. And that's been several years, so if I remember correctly, it wasn't in that bad a shape back when we did that to do it. I just recently spoke to Derry Township, their Public Works Director, and asked them if that section of their street is going to be, you know, within their next couple years for their paving schedule, and it's not. So it's not even on their radar either, because I was hoping if they would do it, we could just pay them for our small portion of that stretch of street.
So our tax dollars go to Palmyra, but we have to wait till Hershey decides if they want to do their road.
No, I'm just saying it would be cheaper for everybody to do it that way. We would just reimburse them for our portion of that. It doesn't make sense to pave, you know, a couple 100 feet and then have a joint, if they can just do it all in one pass.
So, okay, so we're not going to have it done.
It's, yeah, it's not on our schedule for the next couple years.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a, I don't want to say, is there a temporary, something temporary we could do to make it somewhat better?
It's not in horrible condition that it's blowing apart, you know, but it's not in good enough condition to microsurface.
What?
It's not in good enough shape to do a microsurfacing overlay or anything like that. But it's not in horrible shape that it's blowing apart, you know.
Dana, you looking for the paving schedule?
Yeah. It'll take me forever to find it.
Liquid fuels.
It's in the liquid fuel section,
thank you.
66 or 7.
I found it.
We were kind of working west to east. So this next year, we're looking at finishing the east and then going back to the north-south streets on the west side. So we could certainly add it,
Can we look at,
that in maybe
Putting that
2
in.
years.
Yeah, because it's, how big is the portion? It's not that big.
It's only like a couple 100 feet.
Yeah, so,
The thing is, you need to do it in areas where other streets are being done because of the mobilization costs of moving the equipment around.
And we have the same thing on South Forge, where you go from the borough to north to south. So you try to do all of it at one time within the 3 communities, so.
we got it.
can we make a note of that and just keep it on our radar?
Yeah,
Maybe we can
definitely.
reach out to Derry Township again. Keep it on their radar too.
Yeah, they expressed zero concern about that section of the road, so it's not on their, even in their 5-year plan at this point.
Okay.
So,
Anybody else for public comment? No? Okay. All right, closing public comment period number 1. That takes us to the consent calendar. Approve the minutes of the May 27th, 2025 Borough Council meeting.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Action and discussion items. Electronic skill games regulation ordinance. Does council desire to continue pursuing this ordinance?
So I emailed you guys over the weekend after the solicitor sent hers, and
I emailed you a copy of the amendments I put in hers to go along with what she did, which I'm grateful she did. She did a great job, and I appreciate the work she's been doing with it. We did make some I did make some changes on it to have the, where is that at? To have the limits and requirements where the actual has if somebody like the VFW wants to come in and say, hey, we have 6 machines, we like to, so there's criteria that she expressed, we didn't have any in the last one. This now has criteria in it to expand to more than 5. And one of the other things I changed in hers, because I didn't change much, I actually really liked hers too, is on the inside of the last page is the terminal hours. So she had in there from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Well, that kind of discourages with places that are PLCB, like the Legion, bars and stuff, they're allowed up until 2 a.m. So I went with their hours for those places. So PLCB licensed premises can be running from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday and 11 a.m. through 2 a.m. on Sundays. It falls in line with their hours. And with the changes she made and adding that in, that actually frees us up from any liability, legality-wise. One, because we had a discussion within the email with Giselle, it's not, this isn't a zoning, this is an ordinance. They were never promised that they could have more than 5 machines. I checked that with.
But they were never promised they couldn't have more than 5 machines.
Right, and their argument would be viewed in court. Pacematic's attorney reached out to me when he saw this come out, and he looked over it, and they don't have an issue with it, and they're one of the hardest fighters right now. He said, everything looks great.
I have
They
a
actually like
question. Why are you sharing borough
I didn't give him the
borough
ordinance,
stuff
I told
with
him what I had.
Pacematic?
I didn't share the whole ordinance, I told him what I was doing.
You just said when he saw it. You just said when he saw it. So I just want to know why you're sharing confidential borough material with
No,
Pacematic.
I didn't mean the ordinance, I meant when I sent him an email back, my apologies for mix of words, that I told him, this is what I'm changing, this is what I'm looking at doing.
Okay. All right. Because you should not be
Correct.
sharing anything.
Right, no, and I agree with you, and it was a mix of words, my
Okay,
apologies.
okay.
As much as I would not like to pay the solicitor for being here, I'd like to actually talk about having her here to meet with all of us. Because it's been a lot of back and forth, and
Yeah.
while I'm certainly not opposed to this, it's wonderful in theory, I want to make sure the borough's not liable.
Yeah.
So it
That's
might be
my
a
concern.
agree with
good
you.
thing to meet with her and get it all out on the table, rather than having 15 emails about
Right.
this, and now it's changed, and
Yeah, it's getting no disrespect, it's getting a little hard to follow.
yes.
Back and forth. I agree with Jane, because I'm also worried about putting ourselves at risk, for liability, for lawsuits. And I think it would probably be a good idea to get her here.
For our next meeting, if we can.
Yep, she's available, so it's just a matter of, can you meet at 5:30? Do you want to try 6 o'clock?
Just tell me when I'll be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever suits.
6 would be better, but I can make that work
Okay,
if need be.
How long do you think we need?
I have no idea.
I'm
You just don't,
thinking
want- you don't
hours.
want to rush it.
You don't wanna
I mean,
rush it.
Yeah, I mean, you're paying for her to travel
Yeah.
here and.
That's right, maybe 5:45.
Try 5:45.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that gives us an hour,
Okay.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is everybody good with 5:45? Okay. I don't have anything for the president's report, which takes us to the mayor's report.
Oh, well, hello there, everybody. I'm trying to make sure that I don't rattle on too long.
Thank you.
I'm trying to, sorry. But what I would like to tell the community about is the Lebanon Valley, like the yearly thing of what you can do in our county has come out with their little brochure here. And if you have an opportunity to look through that, you will be amazed at everything that's available, not only in our town, but towns within our county. So take a chance to take a look at that. You'll really appreciate it. And also, anytime there's something in our town, when you are in town, try to contribute to it and have us keep popping up on everybody saying, wow, how great that was. So that's all I got to say for this time. But this was really interesting. It just came out for this year, the newest one.
Good job.
I still have, sometime I'll save it till next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good.
All right, that takes us to the financial report. Financial statement as of May 31st will be available at the next meeting. And delinquent sewer and refuse account report.
It's very good.
Looks very good, yes, it does.
It does for the over 180 days. We're really collecting some old debt.
Yeah.
Actually, May was very successful in our letters to residents about the writ of Seraphacia. Of concern, of course, is the greater than 30 days. We now have to really try to work on those new delinquents.
May I, instead of me having to try to remember it till the end of the meeting, have the bills been sent? I didn't get mine.
They won't be sent till the end of this month. It's a July 1st billing date.
Yeah, June's the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
So they'll be going out in
Oh.
the next 2 weeks.
Early. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, the year's going a little too
Brenda,
fast for me.
since we're on this, how did the issue from the last meeting work out with getting that?
Fine. Yep, everything worked out fine.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is
Why did I think it was?
the last deadline,
Not
so
quite.
up until this point,
No.
we've exceeded the payment arrangement.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. All right, fire department EMS report. The May Citizens Fire Company Number 1 monthly report was emailed out. Any questions on that? No? Okay. And then the April Lifeline monthly EMS report, we have in front of us. Any questions on that? All right, which takes us to Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department. Chief?
Let's see, not a whole lot. We're in the process of hiring somebody shortly. Hopefully the background will be done, we can fill our open slot. Just something, this is more to like just remind people, if you get phone calls and people are asking you you owe them something, you downloaded something you shouldn't, and they're telling you can get out of it by giving gift cards, buying Bitcoin, go take money out of the bank, but don't talk to anybody, please don't do it. Because we're starting to see more people doing some of that stuff, and I'd rather see you, in all honesty, if it comes up on the phone and it's not in your phone, hang it up and don't even answer it, just let it go. And if you get like a screen that pops up on your computer that says you've been infected with a virus, you need to call this number, don't call the number. We're starting to get a bunch of those again, so don't do it. Don't give them your credit card information, don't give them your banking info, don't give them anything. Because it makes it hard, because most of them aren't from this country, when you start digging into it, so it's easier if you don't answer the phone and you don't do anything. And if you're not sure, call us, we'll help you. Or stop in, we've had that where people stop in, is this real, is this fake? No, delete it, don't do anything with it. Kinda like the,
Tolls,
that was the big one too.
the tolls,
They will send you a letter, they will never send you a text.
and text messages.
Or the other thing to remember too is if they want you to do something, say, I will hang up and call you back. If it's your bank, you will call them and they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Just something to remember, cause this stuff has been popping up again, so.
That's a good idea.
I'd rather see people just not answer their phones and ignore it or delete the email than to do anything. Let's see. So we have a whole year of this regional. Here's what we've done roughly. We did 8,897 calls for service, 2,253 traffic stops, 927 walking details. Percentage-wise, 61% in Palmyra, 39 in Annville. Total traffic citations issued, 2,089. Total arrests, 247. That's what we did in a year, being down with one body basically for the whole year. So it's a rough
Fantastic.
picture of what happened in year one. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for him. The guy's going door to door selling things.
In the meat, with the meat in the back of the truck in the trailer.
No, this is the Verizon guys going around.
Ask them to show you their permit. They have
Okay,
to
well,
carry it.
my question is, they can be very persistent as far as walking around your house. What can we do, like over on Cherry Street, we have a fenced gated yard, and they have no problem walking in, walking upstairs, trying doors in the back.
Trespass.
That's what I thought.
So just call us, or you tell us, ask them to see the paper, so then, because that way we can get the name off the paper. So if you have that issue, say, show me your permit, and they should, because they're supposed to carry it with them, you can see it, take a picture of it, and then just call us.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I usually see them on the cameras, and by the time I get there, they're gone.
Now, the
But-
one we're trying to get right now is the people that are pushy, they're driving a truck with the plate from Virginia, and they have a cooler of meat in the back. And they're going, but they're like.
Sounds reputable.
Well, but they're extremely aggressive, like, they're going to your front door, if you're not there, they're walking around to the back door, like, and the problem is, everybody that sees and calls, nobody looks at the license plate, so we're looking for a license plate, and it's out of Virginia, and it's a Dodge
Well,
truck,
we'll look
and
for it.
it's, I don't know if it was reddish brown or something, but they're who we're looking for,
Okay.
and they've been around for the last couple of days, we just haven't
And they're
been
supposed to
able
have a
find them.
permit from us too to do that, right?
No, that's what they get from us. That's what the yellow sheet of paper is. So
Okay.
they come in, they fill it out, we check them, they pay, we give them this piece of paper, it says they're good, and they're supposed to carry it with them. So if you're not sure if they're real or not, all you gotta do is say, show me your permit. And if they don't, then you call us. If they do, then you know they're real. And it'll have my signature at the bottom, it's signed and everything.
While we're on the subject of this, in North Londonderry today, there was a white pickup truck. Didn't get a license plate, but he was trying to talk my dad into sealing his driveway right then and there for $600. And then my dad hesitated, then he knocked it down to $500, then he knocked it down to $400. And my dad finally said, not today.
So we
Had
haven't
no equipment in the back of his truck.
So we haven't had that here yet.
I
There is
just
like a-
wanted to
there
put it
is
on
like
your
a
radar
gypsy-
because it just started.
Because there was a gypsy group that, they were Berks County, I don't know if they're coming this way, but
He said he had a southern accent. So,
that was out recently, so.
yeah, so just wanted to put that on everybody's radar too, that there's somebody trying to pave driveways around North Londonderry right now. So they may be coming in the area too. So. All right, anybody have anything for the police department? Anything else? Okay, Planning Commission did not meet last month. The next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, beginning at 7 PM, which takes us to Borough Manager stuff. Acting Superintendent's Monthly Report, everybody has that in their packet. Any questions on that? I actually have two questions. The taking the still equipment to Power Pro to be serviced, was that just regular service, or was there something wrong with something?
They weren't running properly, so.
Okay. And then the other question I had, the setting out the barricades for the parades, does the police department no longer do that?
It's a combination of both.
Okay, I just was checking.
I'm assuming Public Works puts them out and then the morning of?
Well,
puts it, or-
there's certain places where our larger barricades are needed, and also on Main Street, we have to do type 3 barricades, which the county doesn't have in their trailers, so chief gives us a list of where we need to put our stuff, and then they use the county's traffic control trailer to go around and place cones and other smaller barricades.
I just remembered years back, I had help one day and go one time, and I was like, I thought we did, the police did that. Okay, so it's both?
Yep.
Okay. That was all I had. Anybody else have any questions regarding the report?
No question, but just to let you know about their fabricated baseball field drag. The the baseball field over at Southeast Park was in bad shape. So they borrowed the drag from the school district and they figured out what it was and they made one of their own out of scrap material that they had down there at the Public Works compound.
So I saw that they fabricated the trailer too, and.
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are short Public Works. There's 3 people right now. But I will tell you, they're pretty impressive,
Yeah. They're,
trying to figure this stuff out, so.
yeah, for as young of a crew as we have, think outside the box. And they literally made that drag for the ball fields.
great.
From scrap material down at the compound. And they were very proud of themselves, and rightfully so.
And they should be, and thank them for us.
We will.
They make it a nail drag,
What's that?
Basically.
basically a nail drag.
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's not a work of art, but it's functional.
Gets the job done. It's all about it.
They
Doesn't have to
even,
look pretty.
they even welded, did all of that. So, like Roger said, it is not a work of art, but it is functional.
That's great.
Just a thought I just had regarding the shortage with the paving issue. Would we be able to borrow somebody from another township, maybe? Didn't we do that before, or not?
Well, that opens up a lot of issues.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot of issues with workers' comp and with your liability insurance. So I personally can't say it can't be done, but there's a lot of hoops that you're probably going to have
Okay,
to jump through.
I'm just trying to think of a,
Oh, they work very well with all the municipalities around here. They've really established a relationship. Actually, I should say they rebuilt the relationship.
That type of thing, Brad, that's like emergency only to be able to kick over fast.
Yeah.
Right.
okay, takes us to Borough Properties.
I don't think there's anything to really report on any of our properties. We're still, the clock was running and then it just, on the other day, it started slowing down again. So they've been trying to reset it as soon as we see it. So, I'm gonna reach out to Verdun. I talked to them, it was still winter time, and they told me they had 3 technicians for the entire country. They have a guy for the East Coast, the Midwest, and the West Coast. And so, he said it would probably be 3 months before we get somebody here. So it's getting to be about that point. So I want to see if we're actually on the schedule or not, to have one of their actual technicians come look at the clock to see what the problem is. Because it makes no sense that it's running, but it's not keeping time. It makes no sense. So. But other than that, our properties are been quiet, thank goodness. As is the cemetery.
Did we get that fixed?
I don't know if Kiefer gave us a
No.
schedule for that yet or
He
not.
hasn't given us any time that he's going to be out.
Parks, guys have been doing the best they can just to try to keep up with the grass mowing the way the weather's been the last couple of weeks, so. And we did manage to take, trim, there was a damaged tree in Southeast Park that the guys finally were able to go down and take care of that. And the neighboring property owner was very happy about that, so. Refuse and recycling, really nothing to report there. Sewer system, we're still waiting for DEP on Pump Station 3 design, on the water quality management permit. So who knows how long that's gonna take. The sewage grinders at the Colonial Craft grinder pit, they are installed, but they are not working in automatic mode yet. Our electrician, Jason Heisey, has to replace some of the relays, but our guys are able to go down there and flip the switches manually, drain the pit every couple days. So we don't have to take the vac truck out there and suck the pit out anymore. So we're making progress. And the old grinder pumps will be taken to One-Stop Electric between E-Town and Mount Joy for an estimate to get them rebuilt. So then we'll hopefully have them sitting on the shelf when these go out. So we'll just keep rotating them then, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Sinkholes, the only thing new with all this rain has been at Forge and Birch. It's between the curb and the sidewalk on the southeast corner, so.
When did that one open up?
Over the weekend, I believe. And as of today, somebody came and put barrels and snow fence around it, so it must have been PennDOT, because we hadn't gotten called out after hours, and our guys just put cones and stuff around it.
I saw it.
So now it's,
Sunday. I saw it yesterday, Sunday, yeah.
stormwater management, really nothing to update on either East Ridge Road or the drainage culvert. Like we mentioned before, the drainage culvert going across Main Street at Mark Street, the idea is to jack the lids up, clean everything off, put a layer of mastic down, let them set back down, and then drill and pin the tops back down. So that should buy us a few years to figure out what to do to replace that, so eventually.
Did we reach out to PennDOT regarding Melrose and the? Let me look at the notes. We reached out to PennDOT about the options that were given to them and what they were willing to do with the drain pipe.
I have not, no.
Okay, are we planning on it?
I thought they said they weren't doing
Yeah,
anything.
pretty much, I think we're at where we're at. I mean, with all the correspondence we had back and forth with the permit, they're pretty much, they want the pipe to stay, they don't want it plugged. And it can be relocated, but then we have to figure out how to relocate it, which we've been through every which way to Sunday to, the last how many months to try to figure that out. And the property owners to the east are not going to allow that, so. And the township wasn't cooperative either to use the other existing crossing, so.
But didn't I ask for something, I asked for something at the last meeting?
I thought we left it that the property owners
Well, we
gonna
were
try to
hoping that they would
contact PennDOT
Group
themselves.
together and contact them as citizens.
Yeah.
What was North
That's how we left it,
Londonderry's
right.
reasoning?
Thank you.
I'm just curious.
Couldn't remember how it ended up.
Yeah, I think that's how we left it.
Well, all the water kind of collects into this, it was fabricated on site years and years ago. There's a bunch of pipes that come out of the reservoir and come down from the west into this big chamber. And I think they were afraid that the water that we would be bringing there would inundate that and not make it work properly. They're also sensitive to the horse farm too, because the horse farm folks are not in agreement at all to have any kind of untreated water coming down through that stream that the horses might drink, so.
So we're at nowhere.
We're back to basically, if the property owners would grant us an easement to go south and then west to North Lincoln Street, which
Yeah.
we could connect up to at a future time, that's really the only option left. Or they can, go against PennDOT and see if they can get something done.
Do we know if
on
any of the
their own.
residents have reached out to PennDOT?
I don't believe so. I don't believe they have yet.
think Dave was gonna ask you for some contact
He did
information.
ask me for some contact information, which I'm still trying to find. I mean, I have some contact information, but if you're going to soup and dot, I'm not sure who the right contact is, so I might have to just ask Joselle for that. And Melrose Phase 2 was just submitted for review and approval, so it just came in this week, so. So the planning commission will be working on that the next couple months.
Haven't fixed pre-phase 1, but let's do phase 2. Do we have any hold on the planning commission to say, wait, we don't have phase 1 figured out yet as far as stormwater, we need to put a hold on phase 2?
Well, the one thing we can do is, I mean, you wouldn't want to hold up the review process, but you don't have to allow them to record the plan until everything else from phase 1 and phase 2 is taken care of. You know, all the legal stuff that needs to be done. Because we're still missing some of the easement agreements and some of the developers' agreements from phase 1 we don't have. It's not that big a deal, but we just don't have them recorded and in our possession yet, so.
Well, I think it's, personally, I think it's silly that we just keep letting this go through when there's issues with phase 1.
But the issues aren't, if I'm thinking this is not something that Melrose needs to correct as far as stormwater.
Yeah, there's not a
It's not
there's not
their
a
issue,
deficiency
it's
or.
our issue.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, they've met all the criteria that they were required to get, so.
Okay. Yeah, which is a mess. And, all right, anything else for stormwater management?
I don't think so.
All right, street and alley maintenance?
The guys they got out, we had a list of some of the more seriously damaged alleys, so they've been working on that this week as weather and time have permitted, so we're working on that as we can.
Division Street?
I don't think they got to Division Street yet.
Can we add that one to their list?
It is on the list, yes,
Okay.
but I don't think we were there yet.
Can we bump it up, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Did they get that tank trap on the other side from my house on that alley from Hazel up?
Oh,
Between
that thing.
tank trap,
Yeah, that thing is,
that's
That-
like the
that
size of
alley's-
this desk area right now.
yeah,
It's huge.
yeah. That's one of those alleys that it was paved, but it's in such poor condition now, it really just needs to be all milled up and smoothed out, I guess. Yeah, that's a bad one. It's like the surface of the moon.
What about Pensy and, was it Harrison and East Maple where the water issue is?
Yeah, our engineer Mike Nouse and Pensy met there on site. They took grade shots, and that intersection is so flat that there's just, we would have to dig the intersection out about 7 inches to get the water to move in any direction. If you recall, I wanted to put inlets there when we were doing the basin project at Grant Street, to get that water into that basin, and that turns out that's our engineer's preferred method to get rid of that water, because there's just no way to move the water. It's just too flat. They were hoping they could maybe, change the grade of the pavement, but we don't have enough curb reveal there to do it, and you can't build a super high curb that, it's just, there's just no good answer for it, so. So I think Mike's gonna draw up a cost proposal for an estimate to see what the cost might be, to see if we can do it ourselves, or can we bid it out, or or whatnot, so. That's the permanent fix then.
Traffic signals?
Nothing for traffic signals.
Good.
They're working, yes.
So far. Great, anything else?
Oh, I do have something on traffic signals. I just got a letter, or, remember we were gonna apply for an ARLI grant, the Advanced Red Light Enforcement Program. They denied our application because we didn't, it didn't have any, it's not competitive because there was not a safety issue. And I thought, well, I put in the application that when the signal loses power, it's a very busy intersection, it can create a safety issue. Not only for the police officers or the fire police that have to maybe help direct traffic, but also just for people that may crash in the intersection when it's not working. But apparently that wasn't good enough, so we lost out on that,
Well, thanks for trying.
yeah.
Did they give you any examples of what safety issues like they were looking?
What
No,
would be a
that-
safety issue?
You know, with these grant applications, they have a specified small pot of money. Everybody thinks there's all this money out there. There's really not that much money. They have these small pots of money, and they're looking for every excuse they can to weed everything out. Because I'm sure they're getting thousands of applications for that stuff, so.
Unless you know someone and they just move you to the top every time.
Yeah, that's, unfortunately, that's where we're at.
Okay, anything else?
That's it for Public Works.
Okay, solicitors report.
Nothing
Have
else for,
anything?
nope.
All right, zoning and codes, zoning and codes officer, zoning and codes enforcement officer monthly report. We didn't have one.
Yeah.
Oops, I looked at the wrong, yeah, we did, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Should be. There it is. It's sticking.
any questions on that? Thank you for his report, please. Zoning hearing board, no hearings were conducted on Monday, June 9th.
And we do not have any for July. We do have one probably is gonna be coming in for August, so you'll get that information closer to the time.
All right, borough managers report.
I don't think I have anything else.
All right, no communications. Any other business?
Yeah, so I had some residents reach out to me about right down from Rita's. There's a lot of cars parking on the sidewalk. Like it's becoming pretty good amount.
On the
On Main?
Yeah,
On the sidewalk.
On Main?
West
Main
of,
Street,
west
like-
of Rita's.
Yeah, Rita's here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
at the-
becoming
at the
pretty
restaurant.
populated.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
right down from it. And
yeah.
then the other thing people reached out to me about is right across from Rita's, Click Lewis. Is that how it's always going to be with no sidewalk there or pedestrians being able to really walk?
We've had conversations with them too.
Because
Back during the winter, because they weren't shoveling or anything, they should, like at the dealership, they have white lines painted to designate the sidewalk.
They used
that
to.
needs, I
And
think
that-
should
yeah.
happen, because they've like, we can't walk there, we can't ride
Right.
bikes there, we can't do anything. I'm like, well, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, we've had discussions with them, and I know Bill's talked to them too.
Yeah.
And there are actually occasions where sometimes those bumpers are very close
They're
to the
close
street.
to Main Street.
Yeah, so
Yep.
how many
Beyond
times,
over the sidewalk.
how many
Yes.
times have we said something to them?
It's been a few, for
So
sure.
should
yeah.
the fines then start coming now?
Well, yeah, well,
I hate to do that, but if we ask so many times and now this is preventing like a child going on his bike down the sidewalk, now he has to go on the street. We can't
I
do
mean,
that.
the alternative is you could force them to put actual concrete sidewalks in, but, you know, I mean, that's another thing to do, but,
Well, it's that,
I think
Because
there's still
sidewalk-
white lines painted there.
yeah.
I don't think so.
No,
not
not
sure.
anymore?
used to be.
There used to
We
be.
used to have our chicken barbecues there
Used to.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
At
least once.
And the cars are all blocking, it, like you
Yeah,
can't even
right.
like go.
Right,
You can't.
Maybe there's
So
remnants
how does
of
that
the
work
lines.
if there is no designated
Used to be there.
sidewalk? Is it still a specified walking area?
That's, if they designate, if they stripe it the
Then
right
it's-
width, then that's a sidewalk.
Then that should be considered a
Probably
sidewalk.
what they should do is put bumper blocks or something in so that the cars can't
Correct.
block
They
the
should,
sidewalk.
because it was striped and then now it's nothing. And that's not, I mean, last time I checked, they didn't give us money to allow that to happen or whatever, so.
And I think there's an alignment issue there too with something, it's not, it doesn't line up with the sidewalks that are like next to it and things, that creates some of a problem too, but.
It's just nice for people to be walking down on
Yes.
Main Street or whatever,
to
and
walk
you
around
can't
the
do it there, then the other side, there's that situation as well too, people have been telling me, and I saw it, the other night when I was coming home, so. Yeah, just wanted to let you know about that, address that,
Okay. We'll revisit that.
thanks. That's
Thank
it,
you.
yeah.
Anthony, what did you say was going on at Rita's?
Oh, I was
West
using
of
that,
Rita's.
I was using that,
Parking
as a-
over the curb there that Bill's been working on.
Thank
West of Rita's?
yeah, I was just using that as a landmark.
Roger, Brenda, anything? Okay. All right, that takes us to public comment period number 2. Please step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
John Barry, 711 North Grant. The issue with the Melrose drainage, I've been dealing with that water for 33 years plus. I've been maintaining that water for those many years. I have no skin in the game if you divert it to Lincoln, but Mr. McCloskey's property has a pipe in it that they failed to engineer a connection when they surveyed and engineered that pipe under the road. There's some kind of monkey business in that hole. I saw how much it was missing it, the pipe, and it was quite a bit. And they put some kind of a wrapping around both of them to make it connect. I doubt that it's all coming through that pipe. So that'll be a borough obligation to replace the pipe that's already there, not only just divert the water from the pipe that's already existing. Just so you all know, you're gonna be going from the road all the way down to the alley if you do that.
He's still the builder's still working on that. Their excavator put the pipe in wrong the first time. So they either have to redo the pipe across the road, or they have to get extra easement area from
That would help you
McCloskey
out.
to,
If it's the correct pipe that they're using, if the correct pipe's in Mr. McCloskey's yard.
they think they can fix it if McCloskey gives them extra easement to work in. If not, then they're gonna have to dig Ridge Road back up and redo the pipe.
That's what you were talking about. We were going to ask how Melrose was planning on.
That's right, you
when-
wanted to know
yeah,
when.
when they were planning on doing that. That's what the
Yeah.
question was.
It's, he doesn't have an exact date, but he said probably later in July is
Oh,
what
yeah,
they're thinking.
something.
Yeah, that's what you asked, that's what it was, yeah.
All three of our sump pumps have been running steady for the last
Oh,
2-3
so,
weeks.
so has mine.
So is mine as well. I'd
Yeah,
say.
mine has too.
We've had rain, wow.
I mean, it's been constant for like over a month now.
And just the issue that I sent you on Friday that I shouldn't have sent you on Friday, is there anything going on with that?
That was the sewer. I think Bill reached out to them,
He said he'd probably get kicked over to him.
yeah,
Because it's still there.
yeah. Our new sewer camera rig's not gonna be available for another couple of weeks yet, so once we have that, we'll be
Mine's
able to.
working fine, so there's obviously something going on that property. That's all.
What was the answer to my question?
He said probably sometime late July. Is tentative, I mean, that could change, I'm sure it will.
They're gonna fix the pipe that goes
Yes.
across Ridge.
One way or the other, yeah, yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, they're either gonna put the pipe at the right elevation and slope across the road, or they're going to, if they get assistance from Mr. McCloskey, they think they can fix it on that side, on the south side of the road. I think they'll be replacing the pipe. As they should, really.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Okay. Closing public comment period number 2. Borough Council will conduct its next public meetings on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, and Tuesday, July 8th, 2025, beginning at 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.